Hey, how's it going? I'm Chris, an engineer at Stripe on Connect. I'm here to talk to you about handling verification updates for your accounts. Before your connected accounts can accept payments and receive payouts on your platform, you need to collect certain information from them during onboarding and then send this information to Stripe for verification. Once the account is verified, there are two situations your Connect integration needs to manage throughout the life of each account. First, verification requirements can change to comply with regulators, financial partners, or other KYB, KYC requirement changes. And second, a connected account's verification status can change over time. For platforms with standard and express accounts, Stripe handles these onboarding UI updates for you. When these requirements change, we proactively reach out and collect information from your standard and express accounts. For custom accounts using Connect hosted onboarding, you will need to direct these accounts to the Connect onboarding flow to collect the updated information. But if you've built your own onboarding flow using our Stripe APIs, you'll need to ensure your integration gracefully handles these new requirements and verification errors to avoid disruption to those accounts. In this video, we're going to show you how your Connect platform with custom accounts should handle updates to verification requirements and keep your accounts active and verified. In this video, we're using API 2023-10-16. We recommend upgrading to this version or later, as the API specifies the latest error codes in the requirements.errors parameter. For those of you who have built a customized API-based onboarding solution, you need to monitor your webhooks for the account.updated event. Upcoming requirement changes will show up in the future requirements hash. Updated requirements may include additional fields to be collected, updated thresholds for when data must be collected, or changes to how those fields are verified. The hash shows you which requirements the account needs to provide and the verification deadline to avoid account disruption. In this example, a company representative is missing a required email address and it needs to be collected by the deadline or risk a disruption to this account. Here, we'll add an email address to the account using the Stripe CLI and ensure that the future requirements hash is empty. Once you've identified new requirements for your existing accounts, it's a best practice to add those fields to your onboarding flow to start capturing them on a go-forward basis. To simulate future verification requirements, create a test account using the Accounts API with enforce future requirements in the email field. That populates the accounts requirements hash with all known future verification requirements. If any requirement remains at the current deadline in the hash, it is added to the past due array and the associated capabilities become disabled until you provide the information and resolve the errors. The disabled capabilities requirements hash contains a disabled reason that you can use to determine the action you must take. When Stripe receives updated information about your connected accounts, it takes time to verify the new information. Until we complete verification, assume that any related functionality remains disabled. To detect field verification updates, listen for account.updated events and inspect them for verification errors. If you don't resolve an error before its deadline, the requested capabilities for affected accounts will be disabled. We're illustrating this here by using the URL field for an account. If you aren't able to upgrade to the latest API version, for versions prior to 2023-10-16, we've introduced a new detailed code field with the most recent error codes to give you more information. We see here a side-by-side view of how they compare with the error codes in an older version of the API. Once you've updated your integration to handle new verification responses, you're ready to collect updated information from new and existing accounts. For existing accounts, you have to collect all of the requirements listed under currently due in the future requirements hash by the current deadline. Further, any errors that arise during the submission must be resolved and the new information provided must be verified by the current deadline. After an account has gone through your onboarding flow, inspect the currently due and pending verification list in the accounts requirements hash. When both are empty and requirements disabled reason is null, you can enable functionality in the account. Moving forward, continue to monitor the account.updated event and the future requirements hash to ensure you stay ahead of requirements changes that may affect your connected accounts and ultimately future-proof your integration.